Okay, so in this small video, we're going to be looking at non-verbal reasoning coding from our coding workshop. What is it all about? And let's take out the difficulty from these questions. So when we're looking at coding, we're looking for similar letters to see what they share in common. We look for dissimilar letters to see what they have, what they don't have in common. So two ways of looking at the question. So if I look at the first column of letters, which is this column here, so the first letter Q, P, R, we realize, I'm going to get rid of that now. We realize that Q, give me a second, oh, that's a bit too fat. P, R, Q, P, and R are three different letters. Q, P, and R are three different letters. We're looking for three different things. So we're not looking for the commonality, we're looking for the difference. So, well, in the first diagram, we have two shapes, two crosses. In the second diagram, we have three pluses. And in the last one, we have 1 plus. So 2 plus, 3 pluses, and 1 plus. So that could be a possible coding for QPR. Okay, let's get that. I'll resize it. So we've done the first column. Now we look at our question. We have 2 pluses. So our first letter that we're going to be using is going to be Q. So it won't be any of those. Let's now establish what the coding is for the second letter. So when I say second letter, I'm talking about these second letters here. That's the second letter. So let's go to those lines. Now we are lucky we have two D's. So because the D's are common, D and a D, they are both the same. What is both the same in the diagram? Okay, so if I look at the diagram D and D, then I look at the E. Well, the D and D, they don't have the same number of crosses, but they do have the same shading. So D must stand for the gray shading. So D is gray. Now, if D is gray, that means E must be the white shading. So now we have used the commonality to help us establish that the D stands for gray, and the E stands for the white. And in our question, we have a white shape, sorry. So we're going to be using the QE, which is answer B. Okay, there we go. We've coded it. Done. Fantastic. So remember, when you're doing these questions, small amount of annotation, it's just small annotation just to indicate what you're doing. Small amount of annotation. So this bit which I'm highlighting now, this is the annotation. This is annotation. I'm not expecting to write down big sentences and stories and Harry Potter novels and stuff. That's it. Done. One more question before we end up this video. Okay. So we have like that strip that is actually a gray strip. So I'm going to go over it in gray. This is a gray strip, and it kind of travels behind the shape here, travels behind the shape here, and it travels behind the shape here. It just hasn't come too well on the scan. So let's have a look again. So we are now looking at the first letters of this. If you find a common letter, fantastic start. A little bit easier. So we have S and an S. Those two letters are common. So what's common in these two images? So we have the gray strip behind, and then the bottom one, the gray strip's in front. So that's not common. Okay, we have that looks like a drop of water. This one's facing up, and this one's facing up. Ah, that's what's common. So S stands for the droplet of water facing up. Okay. So if the S is standing for the direction of the water droplet facing up, then U must stand for the water droplet facing to the right. And then T must stand for the water droplet facing to the left. Okay, that's how we code it. We look for what's common and then we deduce from the rest of it. So the first letter is talking about the direction of that little water droplet. In our question, our water droplet is going to the left. So we're going to have to start our question with a T. So if we're going to start it with a T, it's definitely not going to be those ones. Let's change color. We have X happening 3 times now. Oh, okay. So it can be 2, can be 3 for the commonality. Okay, so what's common in the top 3 pictures? Well, it's not the direction of the droplet, which we've just done. There's got to be something else. Well, there's that gray stick, which is behind. Oh, everything, all the gray sticks are behind the shape. So the droplet is in front of it. Let's write that down. So X stands for the little strip being behind the shape. So in that case, if you look at the Y's got the strip in front of the droplet. There you go. Y is in front, the little strip. And in our question here, it is in front, the gray part. So if it's in front, we have to choose the Y. So we have to choose TY, and we have finished. It's all in the coding. Okay, I hope this video helps. So again, please don't feel shy from doing the annotations. It's only a small amount of extra writing, and it properly establishes exactly what you're seeing in your mind's eye. This, and this means that. So rather than getting mixed up or confused and doing it all in your head, you're making small little notes and smashing out the answer. And we got all that right. I hope this helps.